They say first impressions matter, and let me tell you, my first impression of this date was an absolute disaster. But at that moment, I had no idea that before the night was over, I would be climbing out of a window just to get away. It started with a match on a dating app. His name was Daniel. Tall, charming, his messages were filled with humor and intelligence. Finally, I thought, someone who gets me. We exchanged texts that turned into late-night conversations. He made me laugh, made me blush. There was something so intoxicating about his confidence. So when he asked me out, I said yes without hesitation. He chose the place. "A surprise," he said. "You'll love it." When I arrived, my first instinct told me to turn around and leave. It wasn't the elegant restaurant I had imagined. Instead, it was a dingy, hole-in-the-wall bar, the kind where the air smelled of stale beer and regret. A couple in the corner argued loudly, and a bartender with a cigarette dangling from his lips barely looked up as I stepped inside. I checked my phone. Maybe I had the wrong address. But then, I saw him. Daniel was already seated, 2 drinks in. When he saw me, his smile widened, but there was something off. His eyes were hungry, scanning me from head to toe in a way that made my skin crawl. Maybe I'm just nervous, I told myself. Maybe I'm overthinking. "You look amazing," he said, his voice thick with something I couldn't quite place. "Even better than your pictures." I smiled politely and sat down. The chair was sticky. As soon as I sat down, he launched into a monologue about himself, his job, his ex, his crazy past relationships. 20 minutes in, I realized I hadn't spoken more than 5 words. He leaned in closer. "You know, I don't usually do this," he said, swirling his drink, "but I can already tell you're different. Special." I barely knew the guy, and he was already treating me like some kind of fantasy. The intensity was suffocating. I tried to change the topic, to lighten the mood. "So, what's the weirdest date you've ever been on?" He grinned. "I don't really date. If I want something, I go for it." His hand landed on my knee, firm, a little too possessive. I laughed awkwardly and shifted away. "That's bold." I like to think of myself as a man who knows what he wants. I excused myself, needing a break, needing air. The restroom was tiny, just a single stall and a flickering light. I texted my best friend, "SOS. This guy is creeping me out." Then, there was a knock. "Babe, you okay?" I froze. It was him, at the bathroom door. "You've been gone too long," he murmured through the thin wood. "I missed you." Panic surged through me. My pulse pounded. Why was he here? Why did he think this was okay? I looked at the tiny bathroom window above the sink. It was narrow, dirty, but it was freedom. My heart hammered as I climbed onto the toilet seat. I shoved the window open and wiggled through, scraping my knee on the rusty frame. The moment my feet hit the pavement outside, I ran. Breathless, I stumbled into the nearest street corner and called a cab. My hands were shaking. My phone buzzed. 6 missed calls from Daniel. Blocked. By the time I got home, the adrenaline had faded, replaced with disbelief. Did that really just happen? Had I really just escaped a date through a window? Yes. Yes, I had. And you know what? I'd do it again if I had to. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. If someone ignores your boundaries, run. And if you ever need to escape a nightmare date, well, sometimes the best exit is through a window. Have you ever had a date so bad you had to escape? Share your story in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more real talk about love, dating, and relationships.